Hey there, Simon here from AQ Outdoors, just checking in with our latest gear review on the Astral V-Eight recreational kayak PFD. The V-Eight has been one of our best-selling recreational PFDs for about a dozen years now. It's a lightweight, breathable, high-back recreational kayak PFD that's great for kayaks that have high back seats. So with a lot of product reviews, you'll get features, colors, prices and such. We are going to cover that, but I sort of wanted to start out with the reasons behind we think this has been a bestseller for 12 years. So basically, it is lightweight, it is super breathable, which makes for a super comfortable paddling experience. It fits a very wide range of sizes, which we'll go through, and it fits high back seats. They've evolved the design and evolved the materials a little bit over the last dozen years or so, and so it's an even better PFD than when we first started to sell it. So we're going to jump right into the features of this PFD here. The most obvious one is the mesh back design. That's done so that it doesn't impact recreational kayak seats, which are quite high. So on hot days, you have a bunch of airflow here through the front holes in the PFD and then through the back, so it doesn't get clammy and uncomfortable on those warm days on the water. It's really, really adjustable. You also have some nice Velcro shoulder straps here, which keeps them out of the way. Side adjustments, front zip, so it's easy to fit to most body types. We've seen this PFD fit everyone from my 5-foot tall 70-year-old mother who paddles a Pungo 120 all the way through to larger folk who have had a harder time getting a good fit on a recreational PFD. So they're the basic features. There's a couple of pockets in here as well, which is useful for snacks and for a small cell phone. But other than that, it is a really nice, lightweight, breathable option as a PFD. So from a fit and mobility standpoint, first of all, it's designed for paddling, so you have a huge amount of space here under the arms and around the chest, which allows for a restriction-free movement when you're paddling, which is fantastic. We talked about the fit. It fits a wide range of bodies. One of the demographic that it doesn't seem to fit super well is people with really narrow shoulders. If you have narrow shoulders, this back panel seems to be a little bit too wide, so that might be something to be aware of if you identify as someone with narrow shoulders. Over the years, we've seen so many of these PFDs sold and used. I think it's important to acknowledge some of the points that we've seen that maybe didn't quite hit the mark for some people. So one of the downsides here in Canada of this PFD is that it's not Canadian Coast Guard approved. For your average user, that's no problem. If you were to go on a permitted river trip perhaps, so the Nahani or something along those lines, there may be a requirement for you to have a Canadian Coast Guard approved PFD, so it may become a problem there. It's not something we've ever had issues with, but it's something to be aware of. Another thing I'm not a huge fan of is the pockets. They're pretty lightweight, which is great, fits with the theme of the PFD, but they don't fit a ton of stuff. A lot of recreational paddlers have mentioned to us that they love the PFD, the fit and the feel, but they're not a huge fan of the pockets. They might like a little bit more storage space. So if you're a bit of a gear junkie, that might be a downside for you. One other downside that we've heard is that for some people, especially short-waisted people, is that foam panel on the back sits kind of high when they're in the water. So it makes swimming a little bit challenging. Keeps you afloat, does its job. You're not going to go swim a world record 50 meters in this PFD, I don't think. So just to summarize, that is the Astral V-Eight recreational kayak PFD in a nutshell, in our humble opinion. It's $169.95 plus tax here in Canada, and it's a fantastic option for recreational kayakers, especially those paddling with high back seats. We really hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for checking it out. For more great reviews and paddle sports content, we'd be super stoked if you hit subscribe.